What's up, Panda Gang? Welcome back to Making Deity Easy. We're here, True Start location, Australia. First episode, we talked about how our first priority, establishing a decent military. Look at here, we got 3 units in the east. Oh, I swear I had one more. Maybe that's that archer coming up. This defensive force is key for step 2, which is getting tons of settlers out. Right now, we've got Brisbane settled from our capital, Canberra, and another settler coming out in just one turn. We'll send them off here to the north, where the lands are quite fertile. You're seeing lots of icons, food, production. Those are the big ones you want. The only other place we might put them is here by these horses, a little bit more in the northwest of the continent, island. I swear it's not a continent. I swear Oceania is the continent. Anyways, and southwest, a little bit more barren here. You're seeing not as many tiles, although having that horse there makes it a lot more attractive. Anyways, the goal is to settle as many cities as we can this episode, next episode, while making sure that the entire continent belongs to me. I've met Indonesia. I've met Coupe, who has decided to denounce me. He's a little bit of an angry guy, sticking out his tongue. Oh, gross. Look at that stuff. What are you doing, man? So other than barbarians, that's my main defensive worries. And those are honestly quite limited. So as many settlers as we can pump out. Getting another sheep here and that small culture bomb on this little tile here was pretty nice. Every single pasture we make as the Australians, culture bomb. So you'll see it even better when this builder comes down to this guy near Canberra. We'll go on to the next turn. And we've got foreign trade, so we've got traders finally. That's going to be awesome for going in between our cities, because as you see, there is tons of woods, tons of hills in between these cities, Canberra, Brisbane, and our new settler who's going to go up here to the north. Looks like they're going to go through the middle of the land. That's fine with me. It's just tough to get up there with one tile taking a whole turn every single time, like you're seeing with this builder here. It takes a whole turn to move anywhere. And that trader, well, it builds you a road, which is nice. So in the government, I've got a few options here. Nothing new, really, unless I wanted to go out into the seas, which is not the priority just yet. God King would be so nice to whip out this minute, but look, 25 faith to get the pantheon. I'm just a little bit away from that. I'm going to have to keep things the way they are. And then I'll plug in yet another settler in Canberra to get even more of that good stuff. As for civics, we can go craftsmanship, which we'll get the boost to quite soon, or early empire. This gives me a whole governor, which is sweet. And this tile, not land surveyors, colonization, 50% production towards settlers. There's also good boosts here in the state workforce with the government plaza, but let's go for early empire first and get this extra production towards all those settlers we want. Okay, I see an Indonesian galley off the coast. Luckily, it's not Maori. Then we might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, and just like that, we've got a bunch of our military guys back to full health. That's great to see. My plan is take this warrior that needs to heal a little bit more, have them go over to where we're going to settle our city, so no more barb encampments just miraculously pop out of nowhere. And the rest of my dudes, we'll send them off together on a little scouting party to the center of Australia. Down in the south, our settler will keep walking, but check this out. The builder, the land down under, is that what it's called? Yes, patches trigger a culture bomb, and just watch how effective this stuff is here. 1, 2, 3 tiles added to our empire, but you know they are kind of trash, but it was at least fun to get those free tiles. Anyways, choose your pantheon. Like I was saying, we hit 25, and there seems to be a decent amount of pantheons left to choose from, which is nice. I like the idea of culture from pastures because I've already got 1, 2, 3 of those bad boys. Getting that pantheon would more than double my culture right now. I've even got more cultures to the north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 opportunities I've found so far. That's a pretty good one. Another nice one I saw was a little bit further down. What was this? No, not farms. God of Metallurgy, science from mines over luxury and bonus resources. Well, look, we got salt. We got gypsum out here, although gypsum may be a quarry, so that won't be quite as good. And finally, a good one is the fishing boats. Not this, the faith, but I swear there's a production one. Yes, 1 production for fishing boat. And look, I got lots of fish. A couple fish off the coast of Canberra here, Brisbane. Of course, we got some in our new city we're going to found, and I mean, it's a big coastal thing, so of course we're going to get lots of production from the fishing boats. Putting all this together, I'm going to go with God of the Open Sky, get that extra culture on all these pastures. Reason for this is, man, we're going for the science victory. We're going to build lots of campuses. We're going to have plenty of production, building industrial zones, harbors with the shipyards. But culture is going to be tough. I need to actually build a lot of monuments early on, take advantage of this Uluru in the middle, and then, of course, grab this culture from the pastures. Just to keep my culture decent throughout the game. We don't need good culture, but we need decent culture to get like okay cards to help our science out. So right off the bat, we're up now to 5 culture per turn. That was a 3. Great to see there. Bronze working unlocked. Alrighty, we know where the iron is now. And I've constructed an archer here in Brisbane. We're going to have them just fortify and chill Coupe. He's definitely going to live somewhere off to the east. The north, perhaps he's in New Zealand down here to the southeast. But I want to have an archer near my main cities just in case we get some kind of surprise war from this guy. Wouldn't even have to be surprise war at this point. It could just be a formal war. Just a few galleys could be devastating to any of my cities here because they don't have walls. Anyways, we should scour our lands for whatever iron we see. Nothing to the north. Over to the west, I see a singular iron resource. Well, that's all we need. Just a little bit. That's fine. Adding the attraction to going out west. I'm seeing pretty high productive tiles out there. Production, sorry, that is. Not exactly good on the food, so we're going to have to wait for a harbor unlock to make this viable. Let me go over to the harbor real quick. The harbor, that doesn't give you any food, but the lighthouse, this will give each of those coastal tiles an extra food. When you put that on top of something like a pearls doesn't help, but a fish, this pasture here, if a new citizen can come and just work a 2-food tile, that's pretty decent. At least for growing that population and working something like an iron or a gypsum desert hill. Anyway, we have to pick a new tech. I'm tempted to go straight for writing, but at the same time, celestial navigation gives me sailing along the way. Astrology I have no use for, but the sailing would be nice to get galleys. If we look at the current era, 8 turns of the era is over. When it comes to expanding your empire quickly, which is the stage I'm at, you don't want to fall into a dark age. Now, luckily, that's not a problem at all right now. But next era, we could have trouble. Getting a galley meeting civilizations is a super easy way to get era score. So grabbing a couple galleys in the next era to go and meet some people, that is a smart move. Anyways, we'll lock in that sailing and grab a trader here in Brisbane doing this production. The only other thing I was thinking about was a monument, but we've just gotten ourselves a bunch of culture from this god of the open sky. And building this trader is going to be a great way to boost our newly founded city up here in the north. Not sure what it'll be called just yet, but giving that city the builder, having it build a road to Brisbane, having it build a road to Canberra, it's also going to get some food and some production out of that, which is going to be great for kickstarting it and making sure it's a productive member of our empire ASAP. And there we are. Of course, we found some barbarians. Always good to see. Let me try and get a little bit more information. Seeing some very luscious lands here in the northwest. I'm going to press the 4 key and take a look at the loyalty situation. So the Indonesians are exerting a lot of loyalty on this northwest side of the island. We're just going to keep moving over to the west as we do. And of course, praying that no one decides to forward settle onto my island. That would be awful. And would be quite tough for my whole, oh, it's easy to defend claim at the beginning. Sorry, I mean, at the beginning of the whole series, I was saying that this is an easier true start location position, even on Deity, because look at this island here. It's a little tough for anyone to come and invade your lands once you've secured it, but there is a key there, actually securing that whole island, indeed. That sort of inspired me to lay down a few more tacks. I think a good city would be here on the bananas, and then I get 1, 2, 3, 4, another coastal city here. The key with the coastal cities is the land down under, man. We get a +3 housing in all these coastal cities. That's just free money right there. And you know what? With us being in a good loyalty situation, and I figure next age decent loyalty situation too, I'm actually going to send this here settler onto the bananas. We're going to skip this one city here, go a little bit more westward, and try to influence some tiles here with loyalty, just so Indonesia has to think twice before they settle any of the Australian westlands. There we are. Ancient era ends in 5 turns. We got a Maori warrior. Dude, the Maori and the Indonesians look so similar, so similar. Glad to see this guy landed. Good thing I had a warrior there to intercept them. And honestly, that's another 7 I need to worry about settling my lands as well. Oh, Jitara seems to like something I've done here. She no longer is unfriendly with me. Coupe, same thing, no longer unfriendly. Let's take a look here at our relationship by clicking on the heart. She wants to control all the islands. That's perfect. Control the islands. I'm going to control my big island. Looks like Indonesia and I will have a great little relationship. Okay, so this Maori warrior coming right up to Brisbane. A little bit concerning. I'm going to make sure I hem him in here. I got my own warrior. Got my archers sitting back there. That's the most elite troop I've got. They're defending the city. Now, early empire, grow your civilization to at least 6 population. We are right on the brink there, man. Brisbane's going to grow in just 3 turns, and I'm going to set down my new city right here. Geelong. Very nice. We're getting huge loyalty here in this city. That's great to see, and we're just 1 pop away from hitting that early empire. So let's swap out our civics into craftsmanship to just save ourselves this +5 culture per turn until we get this boost for free. Now in Geelong, we're not exactly that productive, are we? We're working on a 2 food, 1 production tile. I'm a bit tempted here. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves this horse. So that at least gives this city a 2 food, 2 production tile to work. Now, if only I could get a builder on this horse, I could get a massive culture bomb around here and start accumulating strategic resources. The thing is, my 2 friendly cities here, Brisbane and Canberra, I think they're going to be on the settler grind pretty soon and for a very long time. So maybe Geelong, why don't you go ahead and make a builder? 20 turns is a long time, but after 9, our city will grow a little bit. And once we get the trade route going, you're going to see just how effective that little strategy is. The key way to think about this is exporting production from Brisbane, which you can't see because of the banner. We're going to export production from Brisbane over to Geelong. That's a concept I mentioned in the video I posted yesterday. Sorry, 2 days ago on Monday about having your established cities help out your newly starting cities, because that's a great way to get them to contribute quicker and contribute to your empire's expansion. World enters the classical era. And I'm not sure what actually I hit there. Just a regular age. Looks like the Maori are golden. Luckily, I'm not feeling too much pressure from them on the loyalty front. Going to move my trader from Brisbane over to Geelong, and we'll see what that export looks like very soon. Export of production. Brisbane, of course, going to work on a settler, as that's the whole goal of this video. Settle as many cities as we can, and I've only settled 1 so far. As for our dedications, I usually find that when doing a science game, especially early on, you're not going to be building many districts because you're just going to be expanding like crazy. And then choosing between science and culture, I'll just take a quick look over at the tabs. Building a quarry, mining, that's easy enough. Iron mine I can do for sure. 2 resources, yes. Trade route, yes. Galleys, maybe even ancient walls. Okay, that was a lot of things I can get this era. Over here, we will get early empire quite soon, but the rest of these are a bit tough. The construction technology is very specific. Or a wonder, that's a little bit tough to get. 2 campuses, possible. So it's pretty clear to me that science is the way to go. Anyways, back to exporting production. Now, these roads aren't actually that awesome. They're not bad either, though. What I mean by that is this one to Canberra, this road cuts through 2 rivers, so that's going to save me some time. Over here to Brisbane, we get over a bit of a hill, which is nice. Let's go all the way to Canberra. Okay, it's going to be 1 food and 1 production here in Geelong. Let's begin that route, and now you're going to see what I mean when I'm talking about exporting production from Brisbane to Geelong. Down to 4 turns on growth, and the builder down to 13 turns. And that growth is going to be even more huge, because then we get to work a whole new tile, this guy. All right, I kind of glossed over getting early empire, but that means we get 50% production towards new settlers. Man, I'm putting that in so fast. We also got 100% production, double production towards naval units, which I just unlocked 2 of the galleys, but I don't got time for boats right now. So I can just keep the disciplined barbarian fighting card in there while I close in on their encampment with my units. There definitely is some time to get galleys, but that time has not yet arrived. Governor appointment, who shall we get? Pingala. I don't have that much population or much science just yet, so let's get ourselves a Magnus. This guy is always solid. Let's toss him in Canberra for starters. I don't have much use for him just yet, but his secondary promotion, surplus logistics, now provision. Settlers don't consume a population. That will be quite nice. Astrology unlocked. That does nothing for me. Craftsmanship. This is not bad at all. If I wanted to get more units, but I don't. And I don't need to build... well, I would like to build builders, but I have to get settlers instead. That's just a lot more production in my pocket. So we will pass on changing our civics. We're going to go for state workforce next because we get a sweet governor title. Delegation here from Indonesia that actually gives me money. Okay, I'm seeing some scary stuff here. Indonesian scout on the west, Maori warrior on the east. There was someone over here too, but they eluded my sights just a little bit. I couldn't quite see. And now dealing with this barbarian encampment, they seem to have spawned a horseman, which is a bit scary. I'm going to try to keep my slinger as protected as possible. But the thing is, horsemen don't worry about zone of control. They just run. That said, I think a double hill is a bit too much for horsemen in 1 turn. That is a strong unit, though. Anyways, Canberra got a new settler. How fantastic is that? We can go up to the north. I like the thought of that. And I also like going all the way to the west, too, just to secure a bit more of this loyalty foothold. I would hate to see some Indonesian city show up like right here by the gypsum. As little value as that city might be, it would just be real sad not to have all of Australia. So let me do a little bit of planning here. I'd like 1 city, 2 cities. The goal is to have as many cities as I can. Keep things nice and dense so I can build tons of districts. That's something I should have mentioned at the beginning, that when we're settling these cities, we want them nice and dense. Get as many campus buildings as you possibly can. Anyways, we'll move the settler off to the west. They're headed that way. And based off loyalty, they will go for this settle by the horse. Now, that horse is the only real good thing they've got going on over there. Other than that, we've got a couple 3 yield tiles, and then actually another cattle off to the west, the westernmost tip, but it'll be a little bit tough to actually get that tile. Either way, that seems like the play for me, and I'm going to send all my units that I can over there, keeping this 1 archer back in Brisbane for some defense, being ultra paranoid of what might happen to us. Although Jatara now giving me that green smiley face. Dudes, whenever you see the green smiley face, try to become friends. And if they go full friendship, declared friend, well, we can't declare war on them and they can't on us for 30 turns. That's almost an entire era. Now, on the other hand, if they've got a little green smiley face, but they won't be your full-on friend, dude, they'll probably try to attack you. That's happened to me a few times. These AIs are quite deceiving, they are. Okay, and we're taking some fire here. Damn, our warrior is not built to beat this barbarian horseman, not at all. Let's have them fortify once more. They'll give them a little bit more combat strength, but man, does that ever hurt. I'm hoping that the slinger won't die if I send them next door, but will that even do anything for me? I don't know. I'm just going to defend up here. I'm just hoping we can sneak through with our settler. That would be good. And there's so much trash going on with these barbarians. I think I need to pull my archer away from Brisbane. This is a risky situation here, guys. If I were you, I would build myself another archer, another warrior, some type of military unit to protect myself, but I'm going to get a bit risky with it and keep going with the settlers while I throw everything in my army towards these barbarians because they are an absolute menace. But you see here, the warrior actually survived that fight with the horseman. That's because when you fortify up a couple times, dude, you get crazy defense bonuses. It's absolutely insane. But this dude, could this slinger fully kill the guy? Maybe. Let's have the warrior come back 1 step. You step forward, Mr. Slinger, do a ranged attack. Oh my goodness, and we got the kill. That was so close. This warrior down to 14 health. That makes me feel a lot better, and I might be able to actually send my nice archer back to Brisbane before too long. These Midland barbs mean business, though. Coming up, we got a spearman, we've got a scout. I'm going to try to finish them off as quickly as I can, sending whoever I have in the region over, and just quickly skirt by with the settler. I think I'm going to have to wait 1 more turn before moving them. I believe zone of control is on by default, but it's support bonus. Yes, support bonus for military traditions. So I should be able to move my settler 1 tile closer, but be safe. You don't want to lose out on these critical civilian units. Oh, and check out Geelong now. They're up to 2 population, and look at this, dude. We got the builder, and now just 6 turns. And please don't take my settler. Thank goodness I didn't take my settler. I walked right up to him. Catastrophic eruption. Luckily, I got nothing in the sea. Oh, but there's an Indonesian settler. Oh, buddy, oh, buddy. Maybe I should actually send this guy to the north. I don't think these guys are going to settle my mainland here, but they're going to settle right here at Mount Simuro. They're going to settle right close. When they do that, they'll probably steal a couple tiles from me, which I don't want. And their interest in the west side seems to be a lot less. Anyways, we gotta do some fancy footwork to help out our settler here. Nice, a kill will do, a kill will do. And we'll try to do some damage to this scout as well. It's gonna slow down our progress of the settler just a bit, but we'll keep them safe, which is the most important thing. Nice enough of the Indonesian scout to finish off the barb encampment there, get that 30 gold. But at least there's no barbarian spawning. I like that. Settler moving up towards its final location, and it should get there without any trouble. Everyone else can just chill out for a bit. We're going to try to uncover as much land as possible, have it in our sights. That way the barbarians won't spawn on those tiles. We won't be able to look at every single tile, though, so barbarians will spawn in the shadows. What is this? A new barbarian outpost? Just as I said, they would be spawning in the shadows. There they are. Okay, we seem to have met a city-state. What is this, Bond or Brunei? What do you want from us to get an envoy? But nothing. They don't want anything. An inspiration for state workforce. So we just completed that. We actually completed the tech, not the Eureka. So it's a bit of a shame, but it seems like their golden galley is how we met them. Anyways, we'll settle down this new city here. Let me hit 4 real quick to make sure. You know what, there could be some loyalty problem, but hopefully not. Melbourne is looking good. We're rising at a rapid pace. And our one and only citizen working here is on this reef turtle tile, which is actually pretty decent. 2 food, a production, and a food. We've even got a cattle nearby for that beautiful culture bomb, and that's going to be a good tile overall. I see big things in this city's future. Now, something I want for both Melbourne and Geelong is to get a monument in here, okay? Both these cities, low on the culture. Geelong, you know, well, once we get a worker on the horses, that's great. We'll get some culture. But a monument gives you 2 culture, and that grows your borders like crazy. As you see, we got Indonesia right here, right next to us. I want these borders growing and soaking up all these tiles so they can't work them, so we can work them. Same thing with here in Melbourne. To actually buy one is 240 gold, which is expensive. I think I could afford one of those maybe, but it might not even be in one of these two cities. Maybe it's in this newly founded city over here to the west. So looking at a city like Melbourne, let's go ahead and get a monument. I'm thinking maybe a builder would be nice too. I'll get a monument in Geelong as well. And we'll get on this border war with the Indonesians. Someone who could help with that is Reina. They help you acquire new tiles faster, but instead I've got to go with Magnus, get the provision, which means that settlers are not going to consume a population down here in Canberra at least. We got that governor title from state workforce. We're going to go on to political philosophy as soon as we possibly can, man. Getting all these extra cards is just ridiculously strong, so I got to do that. A little bit of tech optimization, celestial navigation. You need 2 sea resources improved to get this, which isn't actually too hard to grab. Let me go and get campus because we're going to need science at some point in this science victory. And here comes the horses. Nice, we got production, culture, and we're getting 2 horses per turn now. We can sell that off to get more gold. And a place like Geelong, we can work this if we want, buddy, but then we're going to have no growth. On the other hand, we could work a 2 food, 1 production, and that'll give us a bit more growth. The buff from that trade route is doing good work in the city, though. So plan is we'll lock in this just to get that growth a little bit quicker, and then we'll let them work this nice 2 culture tile and get those borders rocketing out. Okay, Slinger took a beating there from the spearmen. I don't know if we can actually kill him off this turn, so let's go with a little fortify. No. Let's just run away. No point risking a unit. Look at this. An unmet player has been defeated. That's 2 now. Earth is a dangerous place, man. Dangerous place. And all these cities were decently spaced out, too. So people actually got to be going for it. Vietnam, we have met. I'm looking forward to getting some boats out there to start meeting people because the current era score is not looking that great. We're at 25, 45 terms, so maybe 35 to get about 12 era score. I don't think finishing off this barb camp is close enough to one of my cities to earn that. No, it's not. So getting some boats out is a real easy way just to get that. Oh, and look at this. We just met this guy right here, of the Vietnamese, and they were happy enough with us to declare friendship on the spot. That is a lucky one. Definitely pick those up when you get that kind of opportunity. So for a new settler, this is the easy, don't worry about it settle. And up in the north, this is the stressful, but I really want to get this settle down settle. I'm going to go for the stressful one. Either way, the unit takes a bit of a path both ways. I'm just worried about Indonesia, their borders expanding to take this tile, and then I won't have that settle available to me, which will suck. Because in the settle game, we're trying to land grab as much as we can, as many tiles, as much land. The land is simple here in Australia. It's just the whole mass of the island. But it's more than just that. It's also about how many tiles can we get off the coast, and how optimally and how densely can we pack these cities in here. Like looking at where we've got these things planned, I could get one last city next to the Aludu right here, city center, and then another one even on this wheat over here. Now, hopefully we don't lose out on any of these city centers, and then we will end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total cities, and maybe even 11th here on Tasmania, and potentially New Zealand can count too as part of Australia, even though we know it's not. Now, Canberra with that completed settler, they're no longer losing population when they build settlers, so I'm actually going to swap over some better food tiles for them, give them this 1 sheep to work instead of a 1 food, 3 production tile, because, the food here is going to go a little bit further. And I'm actually going to go and get them a government plaza building. We want to place this right here. Key with the government plaza building is get it in a spot where you can get lots of buildings around it. Because it gives you extra adjacency bonus compared to a regular district. I'm actually not going to get it this second. I'm going to go for a settler. We're going to come back to that. I want to optimize with my city of Brisbane, as well as government cards. Right now we got this 50% production towards settlers for 9 turns. But the government plaza is key for settling like crazy. You can get the Ancestral Hall, one of the first buildings in there, which gives you more production towards settlers, and those settlers start with the builder. So here in Melbourne, I've bought myself this cattle. I'm going to go and improve this, grab the pasture. Sweet, so we're no longer working the turtles. We're over here on the pasture, already getting culture, and it's a little bit of a better tile. Then not to mention we got that little bit of a culture bomb too, which is nice. And ready unlocked, we got a campus, we got a library. I saw an enemy scout go right over here. Like, what are you doing, buddy? You're trying to get onto my settler or something? That's not cool. Next tech is chill for me, man. I'm going to go with shipbuilding. I'm going to go with maybe horseback. Nah, I'm going to Currency is decent because we get up towards the Petra. I like that, but I'm going to put some turns into shipbuilding, just get it up towards the point where we can boost it with 2 galleys. There's not a single tech I really need now. All I want to do is build a ton of settlers and conquer this entire little island. Get rid of all the barbarians, of course. Oh no, and speaking of, we've got ourselves a barbarian scout right here trying to kill off our settler. That is terrible timing. Don't like to see that. I can now confirm that I became too cocky with my defensive unit. Should have gotten a little bit more. Don't make these same mistakes, guys. Up in Melbourne, we're going to grab ourselves some turtles. The fishing boat is nice. It's somehow going to give us a science because we're now fishing the turtles. But not just that, I can also sell this off to people who want to pay me big bucks, like Vietnam. They will give me lots of gold per turn. Same stuff with the horses. Fantastic. We're going to become rich. But this dang barbarian scout, dude, he better turn around. And also this Maori settler at the exact same time. Things are not looking good. Oh, and not just that, Indonesian settlers too. What is going on? Okay, this easy deity may turn out not to be as easy as I once thought. Anyways, guys, we're gonna have to end the video there. We tried to settle as many cities as we possibly could. Barbarians, thorn in our side as usual. And now it looks like our neighbors have come to settle our lands. This is scary times indeed.
Thanks for watching, Panda Gang. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna actually pay for Windows, so make sure to subscribe. Peace.